The existence of divine beings or demon lords is always being debated, but this video of God/Demon Lord anime series is not an attempt to steer your belief. Generally, anime perceives gods and demon lords as beings with special powers, but yet have some flaws that make them not as perfect as we want them to be.
七海が土地神で万々歳だ。
So welcome back to Animeology, and today we will show you the top 10 anime where the main character is a god/demon lord. Before we begin, be sure to drop a like and subscribe down below for more anime top 10s, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 10, Maoyu, Arch Enemy and Hero.
話し合いで決着をつけよう。どんな？ベッドの上が私で、下は女騎士でどうだ？勇者は上に決まってる。どこのいじめだ？
First up on our video of Demon Kings is, well, a demon queen, with a name that matches her title. Consistent with our theme of demonic royalty, we have an antagonist turned protagonist with fairly noble intentions and beauty to boot. In a world torn by a 15-year-long war between humans and demons, a hero, dissatisfied with humanity's slow invasion of the demon realm, abandons his companions in order to make headway into the Demon Queen's castle, where he meets the beautiful Demon Queen. In a strange turn of events, the Demon Queen seeks the hero's help to end the war and bring peace and prosperity to the southern nations and the rest of the world. Realizing that they share a common goal, Hero teams up with his former enemy as they head over to the human realm to begin their quest to restore peace and maintain prosperity throughout the world. Up next at number 9, Kamigami no Asobi. Kamigami no Asobi is actually an anime adapted from an otami game. Kusanagi Yui is the heroine of the story, who finds herself in a school of gods after being summoned by Zeus, the Greek god. The purpose of summoning Yui is to show other gods what it is like to be a human. Thus, it will heighten their understanding of human beings, which will also bring the relationship between the two to the next level. This is a reverse harem anime, and since the male casts are gods, they are obviously eye candy. Despite being gods, they are not perfect and have flaws like humans, such as being lazy, bad-tempered, or mischievous. There are various types of gods of different cultures. For instance, Japanese gods, Greek gods, and Egyptian gods. Each has their own distinct personality, which makes it seem like they aren't that much different from human beings, personality-wise. Moving on to number 8, Demon King Daimao. Upon enrolling at the Constant Magic Academy, Akuto Sai's life is changed forever when he comes to the realization that he's destined to become the next Demon King. Despite his reservations about his new situation, his status as a potential Demon King makes him a hot property amongst all the girls at his new school. With every girl out to seduce him, will the young Demon King Akuto be able to graduate from Constant Magic Academy while resisting all the temptation that comes his way? This Demon King is at first glance the most ill-suited to the job. Why? Well, to start off with, Akuto grew up in a church and wishes to graduate from the Constant Magic Academy and become a high priest. Yes, a Demon King wants to become a priest when he grows up. After the predicting spirit Yata Garasu foresees Akuto becoming a Demon King when he graduates, people grow wary of Akuto, and the news does put a spanner in his plans for priesthood. especially since Yata Garasu's predictions have never been wrong. Despite all of this, Akuto's the type of person who always tries to do the right thing, and in a manner contrary to his apparent destiny, Akuto aims to join the ranks of the upper echelon of magicians in the country and make a positive impact in society. Number 7. Kanagi Crazy Shrine Maidens.
受けるものはすべてウブスナガミから生まれるのじゃ。わらわこそそのウブスナガミ。この大地の母とも言える神じゃ。
Jin Murikiya is the male protagonist in this story. He unknowingly makes a sculpture of a girl for his art project using the trunk of a sacred tree. The sculpture then transforms into a girl who's actually a goddess, Nagi, who suffers from amnesia. She's pretty angry that Jin has chopped down the sacred tree and needs his help to clear away the impurities that have increased in the area as a consequence of the tree being chopped down. Due to Nagi's amnesia, Jin is determined to trace her past. Goddesses sound like elegant beings, but for the most part, the goddess Nagi has a childish personality. As Nagi stays with Jin, he has to put up with the goddess's demanding and lazy attitude. However, this goddess also has a serious side revealed in the form of Kanagi, which fits the expected attitude of a goddess. Gradually, Jin finds himself falling in love with this goddess who has a split personality. Up next at number 6, Nora, Rise of the Yokai Clan. Nora Rikuo is a teenager who simply wants to live a normal life, but unfortunately for him, he is a quarter yokai, the blood running in his veins linking him fast to the demon world. To make things worse, his grandfather, Norahion, is adamant that Rikuo will take over for him as leader of the Nora clan. For the most part, Rikuo is able to keep his supernatural life hidden from his friends, but with enemy yokai factions targeting both his yokai and human friends, Rikuo has to make the decision to accept his yokai side and eventually lead the Nora clan. Due to the yokai blood flowing through his veins, Rikuo is capable of assuming two forms, his regular human form and his yokai form, which, in the beginning, he is only capable of donning at night. In his yokai form, Rikuo appears taller with long flowing black and white hair and a change in demeanor. Despite initially wishing to be relieved of this duty as the head of the Nora clan, Rikuo gradually comes to accept and grow suited to the role, noting that he has the capacity to protect both humans and yokai alike. Number 5. Oh, my goddess. Kaiichi Morisato is an unlucky person, but he has a good heart. He's a college student who has to look after the dorm when his senpais are out. When he's about to finish his final chore, he wants to call his senpai but mistakenly dials the goddess helpline instead. The goddess Belldandy asks if there's any wish that Kaiichi hopes for, and he jokingly asks for her to stay with him forever, and it becomes true. The concept of gods and goddesses in this series is loosely based on Celtic or Norse mythology. There are various classes, categories, and restrictions of goddesses. The goddesses are meant to bring happiness to people, especially those with kind hearts. Besides goddesses, there are also angels and demons in this series. Watch this series if you want a romance series which involves a goddess as a lead. Moving on to number 4, Blood Lad. Staz Charlie Blood is a vampire who rules over the entire eastern district of the demon world. Due to his status as a demon lord, various rumors report Staz to be a bloodthirsty, power-hungry tyrant, but in reality, Stas is just an otaku obsessed with Japanese culture. One day, a Japanese girl named Yanagi Fuyumi accidentally wanders into a portal leading into the demon world, where she meets Stas, but unfortunately falls victim to an attack on Stas' territory, rendering her a wandering ghost. Stas vows to resurrect Fuyumi because that would grant him the opportunity to travel to the human world, something he has always wanted to do. Energized by the prospects of experiencing human culture for himself, Stas travels alongside Fuyumi to find magic powerful enough to bring humans back to life. Stas is an unusual protagonist. He's a vampire who happens to be ruler of a significant part of a demon realm, and much like a few people we know, he's absolutely obsessed with anything remotely related to Japanese culture. Number 3. Campione. Upon defeating the god of war, Godu Kusanagi becomes the Campione, or God Slayer, which he never intended to be. His task as a god slayer is to fight heretical gods that are out of control. As a god slayer, he attracts the attention of many fanatical girls. Erica Blandelli is especially interested in Godo and always creates awkward situations for him. This is a harem anime, and be warned that it contains ecchi as well. As this series is centered on polytheism, it showcases gods from various cultures and information about them, which is pretty educational. The way the gods battle also includes a unique feature known as Warrior, which relies on the amount of information about the opponents in order to defeat them. Girls can also pass information to the gods through kisses. Coming up at number 2, Beelzebub. The infamous Ishiyama High is a school known for the widespread delinquency and lawlessness that populates its spaces. In this sea of delinquents stands out first-year student Oga Tatsumi, the most vicious delinquent of them all. One day, when he was routinely beating up a group of other delinquents by a riverbed, Oga encountered a large man floating down the river. Upon rescuing him from the river, Oga splits the man in half, and from within the man comes out a cute baby boy who immediately becomes attached to Oga. It turns out that this baby is none other than Kaiser de Emperana Beelzebub IV, the future demon lord. To make things even more interesting, the child's maidservant from the demon world, Hildegard, appears, and together with her, Oga attempts to raise the future lord of the demon realm. While the majority of the show focuses on Beelzebub IV, the future demon lord, one must never forget the one who is currently in charge, Baby Beel's daddy, Beelzebub III. Beelzebub III is a wacky, fun-loving slacker who leaves everything to his loyal aides and spends most of his time doing a variety of random activities, mostly with women in tow. And finally at number 1, Kamisama Kiss.
巴、私を助けろ。しまった。
Nanami Momotsuno is left alone by her father and becomes homeless upon being evicted from her apartment. She encounters Mikage, who is being chased by a dog, so she helps him out. Grateful for Nanami's help, Mikage offers her his home, to which she accepts. Mikage was actually an earth deity and his house is a shrine. Thus, Nanami has to take over the role of Mikage at the shrine. The story is heavily centered on gods, and there are various types of gods and goddesses to be found in this series, such as the god of wealth and the wind god. The gods have their own roles and have to take care of their own shrines. The gods also have their own quirks. For instance, there is a god who enjoys cross-dressing. Nanami has to play the role of land god and prove to the other gods that she's capable of doing so, despite being a human.